What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Expression Culture, here with me, Gareth, the Honda Guru. Sorry it's been a while, but I've got a new project for you. I'm going to show you my new car. So yes, this is a 2004 Honda CR-V, 2 litre petrol automatic all-wheel drive. It's in EX trim. The colour is satin silver metallic, I believe. So yeah, it's coming up for 19 years old. Don't know if you have a bit of miles, but not for its age, if you will. It's 140,000 miles, but average mileage according to Honda is 12,500 miles a year. Sorry about the wind, bit blowy today. But yes, I just wanted to share with you my latest purchase. Literally purchased it yesterday evening, and I will be bringing it to the channel and doing some bits and bobs to it, and hopefully helping people out, educate on this car and learn how to do things. So I bought this car really cheap, actually. It's a fair price for the condition it's in. Like I said, it's coming up for 19 years old, so there is corrosion. We do live in a country where we heavily grit our roads. Not so much as probably as bad as Canada, but yeah. So she's got some corrosion. You might see from the shots there is a stainless steel sort of I don't know, side skirt, running board, whatever you want to call it, on one side, and on the other side there isn't, because it's the mounting points have kind of rotted away. From what I could see the other night, yesterday night, looking over the car, it's not hugely terrible in terms of rust. Like, there's no real holes or anything. It's just got a bit of flaking rust, which I will treat, remove any light rust, and then underseal it with permanent stuff. The non-fest product, bottom guard I think it's called, used it on the CRZ. Really good product, really rate it. TuneUp do their own version, but I don't think it's quite as good personally. The reason I bring that up is I really do rate TuneUp products. It is cheaper than non-fest's one, but I just prefer the final sort of finish that the non-fest one gives. Yes, so yeah, it's done about 140,000 miles. Bit of corrosion, needs a windscreen, definitely needs an exhaust. My god, does it need an exhaust. Wherever it's actually attached to the car, I think it's on the centre section, it's kind of broken away and it's hanging down and it's held together with tape and everything, so it's not the most pleasant thing to drive at the moment. It's obviously blowing like crazy on the back box and the centre pipe. So I've got to fantastic dog just pissing up my fence. So yeah, I've got to sort that out. I'm trying to get a stainless steel one for it, but I think the only way I'm going to do that is going custom. so don't know about that yet. Might just get a pan part one for the time being. What else does it need? These 2 tyres on the front, which I've already ordered, and I'll be replacing those at my work. Something wrong with the suspension on the driver's rear. It's kind of sits lower, so I'm assuming it's a coil spring. Might be a shock absorber, but I'm more confident that it's going to be a coil spring. And there's something wrong with the front as well. I've not had a real good look at that yet. Once I have the opportunity to get up on one of the ramps at work, I'll have a look at that, see what it is. Feels like a ball joint or a bush in one of the lower arms or something. Just when you go over bumps, it kind of wants to wander a little bit. Obviously geometry is completely out. You can see it's been wearing tyres on the inside, on the rear, because obviously they're adjustable on these, which will probably be a pain in the arse as well, because Honda of this vintage, any sort of alignment bolts will have seized in place by now, so that'll be fun when we get to it. But it's a cheap enough project. I was going to buy a more expensive, better condition one, but when I share with you what I want to do to this car as an ultimate goal, I might as well share it with you now. The car is going to be basically a field car for me, and not in terms of like going mud plugging. Some of you know, obviously since I've lost the beard, I do World War II reenactment now, and we've been caught out a couple of times. Sorry, some terrible music in the background. We've been caught out a couple of times in the past, recently, taking one of the other cars into the fields, and it's getting a bit slippy and everything like that. So what I want to do is actually paint the car like an army olive green, because the bodywork's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's kind of, being silver, it's kind of faded in a few places. Odd chip, you know, odd little tiny dent. But yeah, so what I want to do is kind of paint it like a rubberized, textured army green, olive green sort of thing, and stick some sort of, you know, US Army markings on it. Obviously nothing official, because, you know, I don't want to be caught out trying to sort of interpret a US Army vehicle, but more of a sort of tribute and homage to the group that we actually portray the 2nd Armoured Division, 41st Infantry Regiment. So I'm going to try and make it kind of cool like that. Yeah, just tidy it up a bit, make it cool, because since I've lowered my Jazz, I now can't take it places where I was able to. I've lowered it a lot more than I thought I was going to do, but it just looks so sick. So we now have 3 fairly low cars. The Civic's not been lowered, but the Civic naturally has quite a low body line, and when we added the Maxton Design body kit, that's lowered it even more. So the CRZ, the Civic and the Jazz are all quite low now, so it just made sense to have something like this as a bit of a run around, not as a daily, because it's like 25 mpg. It's also nearly £400 a year to road tax, and because this is now my 4th vehicle, unless I go for a multi-car policy, which doesn't make a lot of sense, the sort of benefits isn't actually that great on doing it for yourself and your wife. It actually worked out more expensive than doing it. So basically they're all on their own individual policy, but because I've started another one, effectively that starts with no claims, because obviously the no claims are built up on by policy for each car. So obviously, like, the Civic's got its own no claims, the CRZ's got its own no claims, and so is the Jazz. So effectively this is starting again, and this is quite a high insurance group car anyway. I think it's 26, 27. My FN2 was like 20, I think FN2 was like 26 actually, so it's in the same category. Yes, it's a K20, but it's massively down tuned. They're only 150 horsepower. It's got the K20 A4, I believe, 4-speed automatic, all-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive. But it's cool, and I'm really excited to just do little things to tidy it up, and get the ball rolling on some of the maintenance side of stuff. We probably won't record that sort of stuff, in terms of like getting it to a more road legal standard at the moment. But when we start doing stuff, like the plan is to do the full Powerflex polybush, polyurethane bush package on the car, because this is a weak point on these cars. The compliance bushes in the lower arms, they fail. So yeah, I want to do the full package by Powerflex, get it all nice and firm. Obviously that's lifetime warranty on the bushes as long as they're installed correctly. And we will do that. We'll record stuff like that, and you know, as we progress with the car, we'll do other bits to it, small videos and stuff like that. Maybe change the head unit on that. It does have sat nav, because this being the EX, this has, you know, sat nav, heated seats, leather steering wheel, leather seats, power sunroof. It's quite a well packaged car. But yes, I wanted to share this with you, and really looking forward to it. It will stand out eventually when I've got it how I want it. It's not going to be, you know, an out-and-out restoration or anything like that. The car was too cheap to do that sort of thing. And again, this is why I wanted to do this, is because I didn't want to take a really nice one and then, what most people might say is, ruin it by painting it as a US Army car with a World War II theme to it. So yeah, love you and leave you, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed the new project, and yeah, I'm going to try and do as much as I can on the car. Obviously we've still got the CRZ, Civic and the Jazz. There will be videos coming out on them when we do more to them as well. Until then, I'm going to love you and leave you. See you soon. Bye bye.